dark road at night or strolling through the...
Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Steins. We're on episode 16 now, and in the last episode, the time machine itself is broken. They use the time leap, like the memory thing, to go back 48 hours, basically as far back as they could possibly go, to give them enough time to fix it, so that Suzuha could essentially go back and fucking to 1975 and get an IBM 5100 and fix everything. But of course, she can only go by herself because apparently it's a one-man vehicle. It's like you can only fit one person in there, even though it looks like to me you can fit more in. But we'll just say, for the sake of it, yeah, you can only fit one in. But yeah, there was a whole thing with like Suzu's father as well. Obviously, her father was supposed to be chilling out in Akihabara somewhere. You know what I mean? So they were, testing that out while Daru was fixing the shit, and they've got a lead. So we'll see how that comes to fruition, because that's where we ended. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we'll just get straight into the video, shall we? Episode 16, let's go.
That's right. This guy came up and asked me to make him a pin. And the sketch he showed me looked like the pin you came around.
Sort of like it, or exactly like it. A lot is riding on this.
Look like? Man, I don't know. I guess the dude kind of looked like a barrel.
Like a barrel?
Did he ever give you his name?
Did you know Taru is another word for barrel, you guys?
Taru?
Uh-huh. I picked that up from watching the rhino.
That's gonna help them out. Watch, that'll be a clue.
Monster guy, and his real name was Taru.
Did he not think about like, like call me when he's there,
We'll
and I'll come.
Machine finished by tomorrow, once it's operational.
Hey guys, just a reminder, if you click in the Patreon link in the description below and get the early access tier, you can get access to 4 of the next Steins Gate videos before it ever comes out on YouTube next week. Okay, so you know what I mean. If you do wanna, if you can't wait for the next 2 episodes, then get the early access, and you'll be able to get 4 brand new episodes before the next ones ever come out on YouTube. I think that's a pretty good deal. So yeah.
Is that him? He does cut a rather spherical figure. Wait, that hat.
What? He went back using the.
Taru?
Oh man, Ocarine? I figured I'd get another pen and fake being her dad. Give her some hope.
What? Oh fuck's sake, man.
But the hope you speak of is based on a falsehood.
I'm not supposed to tell you this, but it's the only way you'll stop busting my balls. Her time machine's a one-way street. It can't go forward, only back.
What?
Once she leaves us, she's gone for good. Once she leaves us, she's gone for good.
It's up to you now. You're the only chance we've got.
I promise you I'll do it. Suzuha, I'll keep the world exactly the way it is right now.
Okabe, how did you...
Do you regret the time you spent with us? If you could never see us again, would you come to regret having known us in the first place?
Daru told you, didn't he?
He's worried, and he's not the only one.
I can't not go. Changing the future was my dad's life work, and now it's mine.
This is your future we're talking about, too. How can you just maroon yourself in the past?
I'm not headed to some gulag. It's the 70s.
Whew. I think you're good to go now, but if you want to double check, then knock yourself out.
What if they actually find Suzu's dad? He's able to make the time machine actually go forward again.
There it is. FG204. Hey, Suzuha. Huh?
What was the thing that Moeka was saying?
What's my bike doing here?
I feel like it was FB, wasn't it? Not FG.
Take the tires off and it's... Detective Mayuri figured out who your father is, Suzuha, and just in the nick of time.
Huh?
What?
Huh? What's better, you could reach out right now and give your dad a great big hug. I suddenly realized why you two make such a good match. It isn't just because you're friends, because we're your friends too. It's because you two are family. It's Daru!
Wait, what?
Need to be
He did say like,
This is a
what
big
if it's
deal.
one of us?
Please tell me you've
Didn't
got
he?
more than that to go
But-
off of.
Well, remember how I said that Beryl and Taru were the same? Taru? Itaru? Yeah, but what about that rebel group Suzuha is part of in the future, Ocarine? It was founded by you and Beryl Teeter, wasn't it? And the only other guy who knows about all the time machine stuff you're doing in Akihabara in 2010, and you're reading Stoner things.
Reading Steiner.
Reading
Sure.
Stoner.
Well, the only guy who know about those is Daru, right? The very best clue that
Yeah,
I found was right under our noses.
How does FG whatever?
What, the time machine's name? Yep, FG-204. FG like future gadget, you
I
see?
suppose it could be.
Oh, right.
Check out the rest.
Ah, okay.
Does that remind anyone of anything?
Version 2.3.
It
Ah,
says Future
yeah,
Gadget
yeah.
204, second
Fucking hell.
edition, Version 2.31.
You're my dad.
Guess you gotta call me Big Daddy from now on, huh?
Are you serious?
I don't know.
You're my dad.
Yeah, I guess I am.
You never got the chance to fix the world, but I'm gonna finish what you started, and I'm gonna make you proud of me.
That's gonna be kinda tough. 'Cause I already am proud of you. I have to know.
But Daru doesn't know anything though, does he?
Was she smoking hot?
Okay.
I guess it's time.
I mean,
I know you're going really far, but please don't forget about us. You be careful. Thanks. You too. That IBN 5100 is as good as mine, you'll see. I'll make sure it gets to you guys in one piece, okay? The next time you guys see me, I'll be a little old lady. You better recognize me when I'm 35 years older.
a little old lady. How old is she? How old is she?
Suzuha! I promise you, we're gonna meet again. Things might get rough, but you gotta hang in there. You gotta be strong. For your dad.
Hey, this word on the pin, call me crazy, but I think it's just our initials. O's Okabe, H is for Hashira, S for Sheena.
Ah, then the M's gotta stand for Makise and the A is for Amane, right?
Cool. It's a lab member pin.
Why aren't we seeing any difference in the numbers on the divergence meter?
Maybe they can't change until she brings us the IBN 5100 in the present.
If I did the math right, Suzuha's 54 years old by now. Maybe.
Suzuha!
I don't know if it is. Nope, it's not. It's just this book. Hello. Is that from Suzuha, maybe?
Letters from a woman who did me a favor once upon a time. She told me to pass it along to you, but only on this exact day.
This woman, where is she now?
A better place.
What?
In 2010, I've only been gone for a matter of hours. I'm writing from the year 2000, a decade before I left. I need to tell you that I failed my mission. I failed.
I only had to do one thing, and I failed. I failed! I only remembered the truth of who I am a year ago. All that wasted time. Everything that happened before 1975 was just gone. I should have just gone straight back to 1975 like he wanted, instead of risking everything with a stop in 2010. I've never even seen an IBN 5100. I'm sorry. I'm so
What was
sorry.
that? What was that imagery about?
I forgot. Please forgive me. When I couldn't find my dad that one evening, you stopped me from giving up and heading to 1975. So I stayed, and the storm that night damaged the time machine in ways we never found. If you can turn back time, I ask that you not stop me that night.
So either way, Suzuha has to go then. Like, she can't stay and do something else.
Mr. I don't mean to pry, but can you tell me how Hashira Suzu died?
She killed herself. Hanged herself in her house one day.
It's all my fault.
What are you
How
doing?
far can you go
Hey,
back?
Talk to me.
I can't let her die. Not again.
Please don't send another one, Ocarine. If you press that button, it's like none of this was ever real.
I have to.
Don't you see what'll happen? She'll never know who her father was if you send that message.
I have to!
Ocarine!
Oh dear God. What?
She did Suzu, huh? Wasn't expecting that.
And she's been well, I hope?
Passed away about 10 years ago, give or take.
Killed herself, didn't she?
The hell, she got sick and died, you freak. I lived with her, so I know. Kill
What?
yourself, my ass.
What changed?
That bicycle.
It's a beaut. Suzu loved the hell out of that bike. She'd ride it any chance she got. I don't have the heart to scrap it. This thing was her prized possession. Any idea what those numbers are about?
Shit.
Near the end, when she was bedridden, she would just gaze at it. Is this the number from before or the number from after? She'd murmur to herself. Oh.
It's higher, but it's still under 1%.
So he needs to change something big enough to where it goes what?
Nobody's called in a bomb threat.
So Mayuri's alright then?
Mayuri!
So what was the big thing that changed?
Suzuha, did we change the world enough? Is Mayuri going to live?
Okay, so right, this is the first world line that we're in that is a different divergence number. So I guess, is it because Suzu didn't exist here as a younger girl in this world line that was a big enough change to stop Mayuri from dying then, I guess. See, I was thinking like a much bigger change than just, you know, like, I'm pretty sure like Suzu was she mentioned like a couple episodes ago when she revealed like she was John Tito or whatever, that when it takes a big change, she was mentioning like what, the Gulf War or something like that. Now that's a big event. So I was expecting like something at least, not maybe of that magnitude, but like, you know what I mean, something bigger than. I wonder if it goes back to something that I talked about in a previous episode of you know, it's one thing like, you know, if you go back 5 minutes to change something, like not a lot of that's not a lot of like time for a lot of stuff to change like in 5 minutes. Like it's very minute stuff that can change like the outcome of the world because of what happened 5 minutes ago, like if you change something that happened 5 minutes ago. But you know what I mean, but if you go back, like she said, to 1975, like, you know, that's a lot of yes. You're talking about like 35 years, so wait a minute, is it 35 or 45? I'm too tired for all this math shit. Yeah, 35. It is 35. had to fucking think about that there. It's what happens when you've been awake for like a stupid amount of time. Been awake at like about 21 hours at this point, so quite a lot. So what was I saying? Yeah, so like the difference between like going back 5 minutes and changing something that happened 5 minutes ago doesn't allow for a lot of branches of shit to change. Whereas if you go back 35 years, from that point, that single point of Suzuha going there, she's changing stuff, she's meeting people, all those people, because they met Suzuha, like they didn't do in like a previously, you know what I mean? They go do something different. They change their what they do, and because of what like they're doing, you know what I mean, changes people around them and what they do, and then so on and so forth for 35 years. So the whole landscape of everything from 1975 all the way up until 2010 changes a lot, which could be a substitute for a big change. When she was mentioning like something like a big change, I was thinking of it being like a singular thing that's different, when in reality I think what she was saying was, no, it takes something big like of a magnitude like of everything, like the landscape of like the world in which Suzuha wasn't there as her younger self changed a whole lot, and I think it changed enough to the point where it was considered a big enough change that they moved to a beta line, I guess. I mean, I don't know if the divergence number thing, if there's any way to know if they're on an alpha or a beta line. I don't know that, but you know, I think, yeah, I mean, that whole thing of like how to explain it, like if you've got 5 minutes, right, it's like that much. However much you can fit in that little gap there of 5 minutes, only that amount changes. However, if you've got like 35 years, let's just say that, but obviously it's going to be a hell of a lot bigger relative, but you've got all of this space in which shit changes, you know what I mean, just branching off. You know what I mean? I think that's what results in the big change, is the fact that because she went so far back, like all of the people she met, all of the things she did, eventually just branched off into everything completely, like everything being so different that it was enough, possibly. So yeah. I guess Daru came up with the name Barrel then. Like, what? I mean, at least he can learn to laugh at himself for being fat, and he called himself a barrel because he looked like one. It's great. It's Itaru Hoshida, right? Is Daru's name. So I guess Suzuha Amane she must have taken her name from her mother then, since I guess, you know, that never met her dad. I guess they probably took her mother's name, I suppose. Although no, because didn't Suzuha say that she only had Amane and that's it? That's the only thing she had, like, new name-wise? There's a fucking the revelation that a time machine can like only go back is huge. And it just like kind of clicked, like, yeah, the fuck, because the D-mail and the I keep calling it the memory thing because I don't know what. I don't know what to call it. The memory version of it, where they send their memories through. Like, that can only go back as well. Which is an interesting concept. The only time we've seen the future was in that sort of weird dream sequence, like episode 12, where Mayuri died for the first time. At the start of that episode, they said like there was 7 million billion years in the future or something like that. Where Mayuri was like, "Oh, this is the original me. I tried chasing like you, like the original you, when we got to this point." The problem is that I still don't know what that scene signifies. I don't know if that was actually reality, or it was a dream, or what, a premonition possibly. But it's interesting how that scene is the only time we've ever seen future. But it wasn't very clear. We didn't actually see Okabe there at all. We just saw Mayuri, right? Even though Mayuri was speaking as if Okabe was there. I mean, it could have possibly just been imagery. It could have just been possibly in like Okabe's mind, like, oh shit, what would happen if I let this get out of hand, kind of shit. It could be that. I mean, the fact that they were in like a desert, and the fact that they had sand, like the sand with the timer and shit, I guess that could be a connection there, and that's why that is what it is. So maybe it's not actually reality that's happened, where the fucking, I think he was just thinking on it. But yeah, it's almost as if like, well, no, it can't be. I was thinking like it's sort of stuck in this like there is no there is no future to go to. Like, you have to play it out in time almost. But then like, of course there's a future because fucking Suzu's come back from it. So there has to be a future at some point. You know what it is? This is what I think, right? So that whole sequence in episode 12 where Mayuri's like in the desert or whatnot, I think that's a vision. I don't think that's real at all. I think what we're kind of gonna experience, I guess, would be you're always in the now time. Like, you're always in the present time. You're never going to you're never going to see like the future. You're never going to see him like time leap to the future. I don't think. And like you're only going to see like so far back to the past, like, you know, like, yeah, like 48 hours. It's not going to be that much. Like, I don't know, maybe they could go back if they like, I don't know, upgrade shit and whatnot. They could probably go back like, I don't know, like a month maybe. They will never go back before the start of this series. Like, they'll never go back before episode 1. I guarantee that. But yeah, I figured that, you know, because I could only go back in time, that Okabe would find Suzu's dad, and the dad would then change it so that it could end up going forward in time. Like, that's what my thought process was. But then everything changed. I wrote down, how could Daru acting like Suzu's dad help? Because at the end of the day, it's like, well, because at that time when that was playing out, it was like, well, you're not a dad, so how would that help in any way whatsoever? You know what I mean? He's just still not going to be able to meet him. You know what I mean? And then we had the revelation of him actually being Suzu's dad. And Daru fucking took it well. He took it very well. Like, he was... I guess he just... I don't know. I guess he just kind of went along and he kind of agreed with all the evidence that had built up. And he was like, yep, I must be. Proud of it. You know what I mean? But it was very like... Yeah, because I was just sitting here like, I don't know what to think about this. I put down, yeah, Moek, I said F. I'm pretty sure she did not say FG in its feature gadget, right? So I'm pretty sure Moek wasn't saying that. She was saying FB, right? Because I was trying to put those things together, but I'm pretty sure she never said F. I'm pretty sure it's definitely not FG. It's definitely not. I want to know how old Suzu is. If she went back, right, well, just said that she'll be 54, right? So this is what, 19? 19 then? Yeah. There was some imagery as well, of Suzuha, and there was like sort of humanoid figures that weren't really plain like human, like you couldn't obviously say like human features or whatnot, but there were humanoids, and everyone was like all walking in straight lines and shit, in single file and whatnot, and one of them keeled over. Like, one of them just fell over, and I don't know what that was signifying. I don't know what that was supposed to represent, really. I'm trying to think, and I can't. Like, it's possible that it's something a bit more abstract than just it's somebody she knows that's died. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I don't know at all. Yeah, I wrote it down. If anybody, like, you know, if anyone does know what that's supposed to represent, I guess it'll not be brought up in a future episode. I just don't think it will. So, you know what I mean, you're free to comment that in the comments, and I'll have a look. I was wondering, does Mr. Braun not, like, did he not question younger Suzu? Like, I mean, they had the same name, right? She always rode a bike and stuff. Because that was in the same timeline, right? Where Suzu left. And they were all in that timeline. And then they got given this thing. It was like, oh, this was given to me 10 years ago. To give them it on this date, right? So Mr. Braun would have still known about Suzu then, the younger one, the younger version of her. Just, he didn't question the fact that she was like didn't turn up for work again. I don't know. Oh, I guess this was a day off. It's weird considering, you know, she worked for him. Was there no like papers like, oh, what's your name? Like, what's your name? I don't know. Although she would have gone on like as Suzuha Amane, right? I think Mr. Braun said it was Hoshida that she took the name of, right? Because obviously she would have known about Daru and stuff. Although she said once she went back in time to 1975, she immediately got amnesia about everything that happened beforehand, which is interesting. So I guess it's a bit of a side effect of amnesia with that thing, depending on how far back you go, maybe. Which makes me think the first time she left back from like 2036, did she get amnesia when she first came in then as well? Guess it doesn't matter because she figured out everything again, so it doesn't really matter, does it? It's also interesting how like they come back from actually no, never mind. I'm an idiot. I was gonna say it's interesting how they come back from fucking 2036, it being like 36 years, almost 35 years from 2036, but it's not, because then that would be 2000. I'm an idiot. It's because they said 2000 as well, because that was 10 years ago when Suzu died. So Okabe used D-mail, right? Did he use D-mail and he used the memory thing because he put on the headphones. He sent a text, right? So I don't know. What would doing both do? Surely that would fuck with them a bit, right? If you want to use D-mail and that at the same time. Because I thought if you just wanted to use the memory thing, you would just type shit in on a keyboard. You got nothing to do with the phone, right? But whatever. He switched to a different... There's a different divergence number now, right? So he switched it. But in this divergence number, like in this world line, I guess, Suzu didn't kill herself. She died of disease. I don't think Suzuha can come back then, can she? No, she should be able to. If he just uses his memory thing and goes back 48 hours, like, she'll be back, right? It'll just be before she buggers off in the time machine thing, right? Or is that time machine that Suzu has, the big satellite thing, does that mean she's just like, because she's almost like, it's a different kind of time travel to like D-mail and stuff, does that mean because she's gone back to there, like she just doesn't exist like in that world line period now? Does that mean that Suzu can like really only be... No, because Okabe has gone back before. Yeah, and Suzu has been like being affected with the world. Or maybe it only works in that time. Maybe now that Suzu has fucking gone back to 1975 in her time machine, if Okabe was to go back, Suzu would never be there, and neither would the time machine. Possibly. This show is fucking ridiculous. Bloody time travel, man. It's such a fucking head fuck. I don't know. I don't know. There's... I mean... What can he do? I'm struggling because I don't know what Okabe did at the end there when he used D-mail and he used the headset as well. Did he just use D-mail that time and not the memory thing? Because it doesn't matter. He uses D-mail. His mind change. It's almost like his memories get passed through anyway. Innit? It's... Because theoretically, I think he should be able to use the memory thing, go back 48 hours, and Suzu should still be there. I'm positive. But it seems... I don't know. I guess he could keep changing the divergence number, and, you know what I mean, if it's a thing where, oh no, she died of a disease, is it the same thing as like Mayuri's case, in which case she's always fated to die? So something bigger needs to change? Is that what he's going to do? To bring up... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how... Here's the thing, right? I mean, I guess that we're following Okabe, so it kind of it makes more sense to kind of be him. But why isn't nobody else is doing the memory thing? It's like, okay, D-mail, okay, right. Well, Okabe is the only one that can like get affected with D-mail. But the memory thing, only Okabe has tried it. I guess, I don't know, Kirisu's like, you know, she's scared of the whole thing. Mayuri doesn't want to do it because she wants to feel like, oh, like, you know what I mean, oh, I'm the original me, I don't want to, you know what I mean, I don't want to like change like that. And Daru's just like, nope, no fucking way. Which is surprising considering he's supposed to be Suzu's father who made the time machine. Like, how far could he keep looping this back? Like, how many loops? How many loops could he go back? If Daru is Suzu's father, right? Daru in the future makes a time machine so that Suzu can go back, possibly meet him, younger version of Daru, right? But then, does that mean that future Daru? No, sorry. Does that mean that present Daru now, in fucking 2036, like whatever, makes a time machine? And then, you know, has a kid, calls it Suzu, that goes back to past Daru, the loop continues. Like, what? Ugh. I get it though. Like, you know what I mean? I guess at some point you'll not even need to make a time machine if shit goes right and certain don't ever make a time machine. I guess that's the point in it. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, that is all. That is all I've got. This fucking show is nuts. Anyway, yes, in the description below, I have a bunch of links. I have one to a Discord. Yes, right, that's right. I have a fucking Discord server. Surprise. Yeah, you can click on that. I urge everyone to go over there because that's where polls and things for like future reactions to shows and shit start. So, you know what I mean? If you want to get in on that and you want me to react to a show that you want me to watch, then get over to Discord because that's where it all starts. We also have like Dungeons and Dragons shit going on. We have karaoke and shit. We have rabbit streams and stuff like that. Yeah, Patreon early access. You get 4 episodes of every fucking show that I do before it ever makes it to YouTube for public consumption. Struggle to get that one out there. Yes, you get 4 episodes. That means you get 4 episodes of Steins Gate, Haikyuu, Code Geass, and Tokyo Ghoul every week, each week. That's 4 episodes that you get to watch before anyone in the YouTube public gets to watch. So for $5 a month, it's pretty decent. It's the early access tier. Link is in the description to my Patreon. Again, that's the early access, $5 a month. I think it's pretty sweet. My last poll that I did just finished Friday, and it is Parasite that I will be doing. That will be airing on Wednesdays. Now, that is only available for people who are $15 or higher on Patreon while it's airing. Okay, so if you want to watch me react to Parasite, like, you know, immediately out the gate, then you're gonna have to be a $15 or higher patron while it's airing. Once it's finished, then I will upload it to YouTube publicly for everybody. I'll be doing it like 1 episode a day. All right, so that'll take like a month's worth of episodes, because it's 24 episodes, I believe. Okay, so yeah. I also have a PO box. Address is in the description below. So if you do want to send me anything, I will open the box on camera and react to it, and that'll be a nice little surprise, a nice little addition to the video. If you don't want me to react to it on camera, though, make sure you tell me in the package, and I will not. But I will appreciate the anything that you guys give me. I've the ones I have opened so far, I've just loved. So, you know what I mean? It's nice getting to stuff. It's like Christmas, so yeah, it's cool. So yeah, the PO box is in the description below if you do want to send me anything. And yeah, that is all. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.